This is how you can begin to build strong financial habits that will benefit you both during and after you've graduated from college. Hello and welcome to Practical Personal Finance, where you get the information you need to understand and succeed with money. I'm Andrew Shear, and whether you're just getting started in college, you're part of the way through, or you've just graduated, it's important to understand how to create and maintain a monthly plan for your money. Today, I'm going to teach you about the principles of budgeting, including evaluating your income, making a plan for your expenses, and adjusting that plan until it's really dialed in. And for those of you who stick around until the very end, I'll hook you up with a budget spreadsheet template so you can start today for free. If you're ready to gain this valuable skill, then give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, hit that red subscribe button. You're about to learn something new about money. Before I get into the technical steps, I want to talk about the concept of budgeting real quick. Because back in college, I thought I was budgeting. But in reality, I just had a list of my monthly bills on a sticky note on my desk. That's not budgeting. Budgeting, or as I now like to call it, creating a spending plan, is something you'll need to do every single month. It's making a plan in advance for how you're going to spend your money in that upcoming month, sticking to that plan, and evaluating how you did afterward. That's what budgeting is all about. Step one in the process of budgeting is determining what your income will be. If you've got a regular part-time or full-time job, this part is pretty easy. You just take the amount you take home with your regular paycheck and multiply by the number of paychecks you'll get in the coming month. Let's say I'm working part-time and I get paid every other Friday. My average paycheck is $350. This month, I'm going to get 2 paychecks. So I take $350 and multiply by 2 to get $700. This will be my income for the month. If it was one of those special bonus months with 3 paydays, I would take $350 and multiply by 3 to get $1,050. If you're working at a full-time job, your average paycheck might be a little higher. But what if you're not working? When I was in college, I had a couple of semesters where I was taking 20 or 21 credits. I really needed to focus on my schoolwork during those semesters, so I decided against also working a part-time job. Without a regular job, how can you determine what your income will be? Well, you need to pay the bills somehow. And the way I see it, you've either got money saved up that you're using, you're getting a monthly allowance from your family, or you're using student loans to cover the cost of living expenses, like I was. If you're getting a monthly allowance, use that amount as your income. If you've got cash saved up that you're just burning through, divide the total amount by the number of months you need it to last. Let's say you've got $2,700 saved up and you need it to last you 9 months while you're living on campus in a dorm. You would take $2,700 and divide by 9 months, and you would wind up with $300 per month as your income. In my case, I took out loans for a specific amount of money each semester to pay for things like rent, utilities, and food. So let's say you're like me and you took out a loan of $9,000 per semester. Multiply that number by 2 and you get $18,000 per year for your income. If you're living off campus in a rental property, you're going to need to make that money last for 12 months. So when you get that big lump sum payment from your lender, don't go spending it on a vacation or a new MacBook. What you need to do is put it all into a savings account and then transfer a specific amount of money to your checking account each month for spending. If you're not familiar with these 2 types of accounts, I made a video about how to use them properly. Link is down below. The money that you transfer to your checking account each month is going to be your income. To determine what that amount is for each month, again, you just need to divide the total amount by the total number of months. In the example I just gave you, we'll take $18,000 and divide by 12 months, and the result is $1,500 per month. That's going to be the amount you use as your income. Before we move on, if this is making sense for you so far and you're getting some great value, do me a favor and click that like button to help more people just like you find this video. Step 2 of budgeting is making a plan for how you're going to spend your income. This is the most crucial part of the process. What you're going to do is list out in advance everything you're planning to spend money on in the next 30 days. Now, this is going to be difficult to do at first when you haven't been budgeting, but I promise it'll get easier after 2 or 3 months of going through this process. My favorite way to make a list of my expenses is with a spreadsheet, so that's how I'm going to show you today. But there are plenty of apps and different pieces of software out there that will help you accomplish the same goal. In the spreadsheet, you've got columns for the category and the amount you plan to spend. Down here at the bottom is where everything will be added up, and you can see the difference between the amount you've got coming in and the amount you've got going out. Your income is $1,500, just like in the example from earlier, and you're living in an apartment with 2 roommates. Let's say your share of the rent is $650, electric is $40, internet is $15, and your cell phone bill is $65. All of those fixed monthly expenses total $770. You've got $730 left to plan for with your more flexible expenses. You reserve $250 for groceries, $200 for restaurants, and $150 for activities like catching a movie or taking a trip to the beach. That leaves you with $130 left over. You could always add that to your restaurant budget or go shopping for some new clothes. But it's not a bad idea to keep some cash set aside for unexpected expenses, like if you needed to call a locksmith or pay for a plumber to unclog your toilet. Now, what about if you've added up all your expenses and they're higher than your income? Well, you've got what we call a deficit. You can either find a way to boost your income or get creative and cut your expenses. If you have a deficit and you fail to do one of those 2 things, you're going to run up credit card debt. And that, my friends, is a bad idea. Once you've finalized your plan for how you're going to do your spending, you just need to stick to it. Step 3 in the budgeting process is evaluating how you did and making adjustments. The first few months that you create a spending plan, you're going to make mistakes. You'll end up spending way more on groceries than you planned to, or you'll spend less at restaurants than you thought you would. Whatever your mistakes might be, this is an opportunity for you to become more familiar with where your money is going and make adjustments to your plan for the following month. So you probably noticed on the spreadsheet there's one more column labeled Actual. In this column, you'll go back at the end of the month before creating next month's budget and evaluate all your spending. Go through your bank statements and your credit card log and input all of your expenses. Let's say I'm going through and I notice I only spent $150 on groceries last month. I might consider changing the amount for next month from $250 to $200 instead. And let's say that I ate out at restaurants 13 times and spent a total of $300. I might consider planning to spend a little more on restaurants next month, or I might become more conscious of how often I'm eating out and try to limit my restaurant visits to 10 instead of 13. Taking the time to evaluate and make changes is an important step. Over time, you'll discover that you're really in tune with where your money goes each month, and that's a big part of being responsible and successful with money. I've heard people say that they don't like budgeting because they don't like to be constrained, but I believe it's just the opposite. You can plan to spend your money any way you want in advance. And once that plan is set and decided on, you can spend money according to that plan without feeling any guilt. And if something's not in the budget, you have the freedom to say no, because that decision has already been made. The only thing you're sacrificing when you create a spending plan is your ability to be impulsive. And we all know it's those impulsive purchases that we regret later. If you'd like to use the spreadsheet I used in this video, I've made it available to you via a link down below. Just open the spreadsheet and then select File, Make a Copy, in order to save a copy to your Google Drive that you can edit. What's the largest expense in your monthly budget? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, click right here to learn about how I paid off over $175,000 in student loans. And if you found this content valuable, subscribe for more by clicking right here. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Scheer, and I'll see you next time.